Okay, simply put today we're going to be talking about codec now. It is very, very important that every cinematographer and every professional video editor understands what they are working on. Now, every editor now, we know that a video editor works on videos. So it is not going to be nice if the videos you're editing, you do not know anything about the nature of the video. So now, we're talking about codec today now. Now, what is a codec now? A codec is actually made up of two different words joined together, which is the code and the deck. That's the codec. Now, the code there means to code. What is code now? A code is to hide an information, while the deck there is to decompress an information. So we now have them joined together, which is what codec. Now, what is the codec now? A codec is actually what a software that helps to compress your videos so it can be stored for playback. What do I mean by that? What I mean is every video you see or you watch on screen has actually gone through the process of encoding. Now that brings me to another topic, which is what? Encoding. Now what is video encoding? Video encoding has another name, which is called transcoding. Now what is video encoding now? Video encoding is a process where digital video files are being exported into what? Another format or specification to help you play back on a very small file. Now what do I mean? Every video you watch on the screen, every video you watch at the cinema, the videos you watch on your mobile phones, the videos you watch on your televisions, at home, they've gone through the process of encoding. So another name for encoding is transcoding. So every video has to go through that process. Why? Is because, for example, now remember when I talked to you guys about resolution? So simply put, now what is a codec now? A codec is actually a software that helps to compress your video files and store so you can have another playback of the same file. Now what this means is that now the larger the video files that you have, the more impossible it's going to be for you to actually have the same video files into different viewing platforms. Now, what are the platforms that we have that we view our videos today? We have the cinema where you go to watch a film. We have the mobile phone where you can actually watch your films on your mobile phones. And then we now have the TV at home where you can actually watch your stuff there. So as an editor, it is very important that you understand the formats and the specifications so you can actually encode your videos into these different formats. Now, one major thing I want you guys to understand is that if you're actually encoding your videos, that is, you're shrinking your videos into a very small size, you must understand what platform you're actually encoding those videos into. One major thing as an editor to understand is that if you're editing any video clip, you must have in mind what platform, what viewing platform is this video going into. Is it going to the internet? If it's going to the internet, there is a particular format and specification for videos that goes into the internet. Is it going to the cinema? There's a format and there's a specification that is needed for videos going to the cinema. Is it going to be on the phone? There's a format and there's a specification for that. So all of this is just to guide you and make you understand that if you're actually compressing your videos into these different viewing formats, you must understand the formats to use. You must understand its specifications so as not to misplace the priorities of the qualities of those videos. Do you understand that now? So the major thing that we're going to learn today is understanding what a codec is, how to compress video files, and how to also rebuild them into different formats and into different specifications. Now, a quick one now. Let's talk about video encoding now. It is very, very important. It is very, very important as a video editor that you understand what video encoding is. Now, there is no person who calls himself a video editor that doesn't go through the process of encoding videos. Why? It's because the videos that we have today in the world today, the videos that you have on your phones today, the videos that you do, the movies that you watch at the cinema, the movies that you watch on TV, everything that you watch on TV that is called a film, there is someone who has actually edited those clips. So the editor has a mind where the clips are going. So if you call yourself an editor, for example now, someone gives you a job, then he tells you this job is actually meant for the cinema. So all you're going to do as an editor is to understand that, okay, there is a format for the cinema and there are specifications that I'm supposed to know to actually encode the videos to fit into the cinema format setup. That's why the films that go to the cinemas are not the same films that you have on your mobile screen. There are different specifications, there are different formats for encoding these videos. If someone gives you a video and he tells you, help me edit this video, but at the end of the day, I want to actually put this video, I want it to be on mobile phones, then you should understand that there are some formats and specifications for mobile phones that you're supposed to encode the videos into. So all of this is just to help you and guide you to, so as to understand that you're not supposed to put what is for A for B and B for A. So everybody's supposed to know what video encoding is all about. So now, what is video encoding now? Video encoding is actually a way or a process of exporting your digital video files into different formats and specifications for playback. Now, what are the formats that we have, which brings us into the topic of different video formats and files that we have. We have the popular MP4 player, we have the MOV, we have the FLV, we have the WMV, and then we have the MKV, and different other formats like that. Now, most of the video files that we have today, most of what we have are just the formats, which means that the videos have gone through the process of encoding. So today we'll be talking about how to encode our videos and how to actually put them into different video formats. I would like to show you guys, again, we have here a clip. I would like to show you guys, and let me look for the properties of this clip. Now look at the properties now. This is the properties now. We have a QuickTime movie format here. Now the estimated size here is 1.65 gigabyte disk, recorded on the disk, and then we now have this file here. Now look at the dimension now. 4,996 multiplied by 2160. That's a full HD. Sorry, that's a 4K resolution. So that is to tell you that it's actually it's a very high resolution. And everything here is just, this particular clip is just 24 seconds. And with the 24 seconds clip, we have the size of 1.65 gigabyte. Why? Because it's actually a 4K resolution, and it's actually very, very, very early for a 24-second video. So this is what's going to happen. Now let's import this into Adobe, into the timeline, and see what it's like. Okay, now so these clips are recorded on 4K resolution. Now let's launch into the deep. Let's bring this into Premiere Pro and see how it goes. So you have it here, bring it into the timeline. Now, there you have it. It's there. It's there on the timeline. And then you just go, let's raise it up. And then let's have it play back. You can see it's playing already, but it will not play smoothly. Now, the reason why you have it played this way, to this extent, is because I have with me here this is a Core i7 processor. I have my 1.5 gigabyte graphics memory. I have my 32 gig RAM there. So that's why I have the grace of having a 4K resolution play smoothly like this. But if you have anything less than this, then of course you know your 4K will not play very well. Why? Because if you have a very low processor, you have a very low RAM, you have a very low graphics memory, you do not expect to have a 4K resolution of video play to this extent. So when you have it play this way, that means it's actually a heavy file. For a 24 second of video, now let's do the math together. For a 24 second of video that has just 1.6 gigabytes. So now let's just figure out how much size of resolution would you have if you now have a 30 minutes of a 4K resolution video. That means that the size will be very high. So that's what we need to put in place, where we need to now encode the video. Now let's put it this way. So it's to this height, to this length, 24 seconds of video, and then you just come here. Let's try to export this out. Now all of this happens in the place of exporting. As you remember, you come to the file menu bar, you come to your export, and then you click on what? Your media. And then the export settings comes up. Then you have your export settings come up, and then we now have your format. Like I said before, the H.264 is it's a very good codec, video codec, that helps to compress your video files into different distribution channels. And then we now have the 8.264, and then we now come here. These are just different channels that is expected for you to export your videos into. Then let's come here. There's a button here called the Q button. This Q here helps you to queue your video, like it's a way of translating your video from Premiere Pro into Adobe Media Encoder. Now, let's launch this. Then it gets queued up. Then we wait for the app to launch. The Adobe Media Encoder launches up. So once you have it opened up, then we have it like this. Now, this is the footage here. This is the footage here. Then you could just double click to verify. Then it's tutorial 4K video. Now, where do you want to have it saved? Then click on it 2 times. It's going to be saved under storage. So that means when you encode, we are sure of where it's going. We're sure of the name of the video we're encoding. We're sure of where it's going. Remember, like I said before, this is actually a very high resolution video that we're about encoding into a very small version of video. Then all we need to just come here, press the play button, and then automatically it starts encoding. Now this is this loading page here is the process of encoding. That means it's converting from a very high resolution into very small resolution, where I can have a 24-second of video that has a very small size than what it was before. So we have to just wait and wait for it to get done into a very small size, and then still compare the resolution quality as well. So let me just wait. Oh, sorry. Let's wait and see how it's gonna get done. Now there's a mark here. This tick here means that it's done already. So now let's go look for our file, and then this is the page where I saved it. So we have it here, 4K tutorial 4K. Let's look for it here. The tutorial 4K. Tutorial 4K. This is it now. We have it here. Tutorial 4K layout. You can just open up. Now, when it comes to as regards the quality is still very much there, just the reduction in size. So now this is what I want to do. I want to compare the properties. Let's look at how much this one has. Then look at this, which is this here, which is this one here, and let's look for this now, which is this. Now, so this is the encoded video. Now let's check for we're checking out for the properties of this video. Now this one has been encoded. It has gone through the process of encoding, and then we now have we have this one here. This is the original file. This is the 4K resolution video. Now let's check out for the properties of this video to compare between this encoded video and the original file. Now you can see they are actually the same video. Now if you look up now, this one here that has the 1.65 gigabyte is the original 4K resolution video. It's a 24-second video. The original file here, the 4K, has 1.65 gigabyte, while the converted encoded version has 38.7 megabyte. Now, if I'm going to ask you now, which would you want to be on your phone? Of course, you know, if you put this 1.65 gigabyte on your phone, it's going to actually contain a large space on your phone. But if you put this 38.7, which is actually what? A smaller version of 1.6, it sits well on your phone. So that means it has gone through the process. That means it has gone through the process of what? Encoding. Now, it's the same video, 24-second video. This first one here is the original raw video, while the second one here is a converted encoded video. So that is what happens when you actually encode a video. It reduces the size of the video and still retains the picture quality very much. Cut.